So I tried Google Gemini Live recently and I think it's very cool, but I also think it's not there yet. Okay, let me explain. So, for a quick recap, Google Gemini Live is the voice activated conversational version of the already existing chatbot Gemini. It was launched earlier this year in September along with the Pixel 9 lineup, and it was initially only available to Gemini Advanced subscribers. But now it's supported on majorly all Android devices. Coming to the stuff it can do. Right now, with the basic things, it can help you with the weather, it can help you cancelling or setting alarms, but it cannot take reminders. It can add and remove calendar events. It cannot control smart home devices yet. Coming to the more in-depth LLM based stuff, you'll be able to brainstorm ideas, ask it to explain concepts, which I must say it does quite well. Could you explain the concept of synchronization in operating systems to me?
So imagine you're trying to coordinate a bunch of people to work on a task together. Like let's say you're putting together a giant puzzle. You can't all just grab pieces and start working. You need to figure out who's doing what and make sure no one's undoing someone else's work. It's the same with the computer's operating system, OS. It has lots of programs like apps on your phone running at the same time. They all need to use the computer's resources like the processor and memory. The OS has to make sure everything runs smoothly and nothing crashes, so it needs a way to coordinate all these programs. That's where synchronization comes in.
And help you write and basically a lot of creative stuff. Plus, you can also ask it to chat with you like any other human being would. And technically, it has very advanced nuances, like it really does make you feel that there's someone on the other side talking to you. And it gets interrupts pretty well. Like if it's explaining something and you want to interrupt it like a natural conversation, like how you would to another person, it does it pretty well. However, you mustn't say Gemini in between. Like you're not supposed to say, when it's explaining, you don't say Gemini. I tried it once and it kind of went haywire. It started explaining what Gemini is.
It sets rules and manages things, so
Gemini.
all the different programs can use the computer without
Gemini.
causing problems.
Can you please explain?
Gemini is a large language model.
But I think the major drawback here is that there is no live transcript of what you're talking and what it is helping you with. The transcript is available only after the entire chat, which is kind of a bummer because if you're talking to it and you want to look at the screen and you didn't hear a word and you want to look at the screen and catch what it's saying, you just can't. You have to keep listening to it, which I think should be fixed. So yeah, that's the major drawback. Another tiny thing that I found is that when I say close the chat or stop the chat to end the conversational mode right there, it says to me that okay, bye, closing the chat, but it does not close the chat. I don't know for what reason, but it just does not. Stop the chat.
Stopping the chat. Talk to you later.
Close the chat.
Good night.
Not a major issue, but just putting it out there. And yeah, it's a very cool tool with a voice that has very similar nuances to a human voice, which is pretty cool. And yeah, in conclusion, I think it's gonna be a very helpful thing if they implement all that's there in the Google Assistant and Gemini, the text-based chatbot, into this version. But that also makes me wonder what is gonna happen to the Google Assistant and Gemini if this becomes the default. We don't know what's going to happen to that because right now we already saw how Gemini and the assistant are in collaboration, and so they are under one umbrella. I don't know. Okay, so that was it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you're into tech stuff, do subscribe.